Oh, man, Alex, how's it going, buddy?
What's up?
I like the text message that you sent right as we were coming back. Oh, I'll be right back.
Hey,
Buddy, you had like
uh,
4 seconds.
it's fine.
It's fine. Technical difficulties started the day, but we got there. We got there in the end. Discord having an outage today. Definitely not ideal, as that is what we normally use for this program.
How is it not anymore?
I, we're using a different program today, seeing if we like it. If we like it, we'll keep it. If we don't like it, we won't keep it. Sorry, I'm recentering the logo in the center because it's bothering me. Because it's very clearly skewed. Mia VTurber _001, thank you for the follow. It's kind of funny. That I have alerts, but they will not show over the logo, so we'll throw that like that. But let's get into the things we actually planned on talking about today. I'll give a little bit of a show map here, and then we'll get into it, because I think if people know where we're going, they can get on the ride, and they can enjoy the ride a little bit more, in my opinion.
Something like that.
But so what I'm thinking here, I'm spitballing. I'm clearly not reading off our show map sheet that we started writing 24 minutes ago. We'll talk about. Obviously, you said you were at Patriots Commanders joint practice this week with the Commanders being in town up there. Obviously, we'll do guess the conference, because that's been our thing. That's kind of going to be the closer of the show. I will tell you, you're going to get the SWAC, the SWAC, and it's 2025 women's bowling. Fire. I can't give you football because that's too easy. So you'll have that. We'll have, I guess it's kind of hot takes on the NFL, like a singular hot take, and then of course, my favorite part, the obscure lineups. And I will tell you, I think I absolutely cooked the best obscure lineup of any of the ones so far. And that includes peeking at your Diamondbacks lineup.
I mean, before we rip it, they're a newer team, like kind of the timeline of MLB, so it's like there was so.
I'm not saying it's a bad lineup by any
No,
means, but
I think
I
it's
didn't
newer
realize how
team.
much you could cook with the San Diego Padres.
I think just with the Diamondbacks, with how much of a younger team they are in the current context of it. Like, I think I could only go back to like 1998 or something.
Yeah,
So
you
go
severely
back further,
limited.
But this is too. I don't think I did all that bad though.
No, I'm loving your lineup. I'm just saying. I think any of the lineups that includes the Pirates, the Phillies, the A's, the Yankees, the Red Sox, they have all been good lineups. I think my Padres one is the best one we've had, as far as like both obvious name recognition and just sheer power of what that lineup would be. I'll say it. I don't think we will come up with a lineup that has a better overall set of players. Not their time on the team, but overall the set of players. Which is insane to me.
I mean, I think we're gonna have we'll have player parallels.
Mm.
That's kind of like the whole. That'll be a constant. I think I was looking at yours. We've had one player, I think, be on 3 different lineups now?
Probably. I'm actually literally going through it right now.
And I think you can guess who it would be.
I don't know, actually, and it's funny because I'm... You know what's funny? I kept Richhill off the team. Shea Hillenbrand has been a surprisingly popular pick.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, you could put Dick Mountain just about anywhere.
Yeah, but I made a point to make a lineup of all ones that had baseball cards, too. This time. That we didn't have to really, like, search super heavy, because I had missed every single lineup so far. At least one, so...
That's the thing too, is you're gonna miss like a good 3-4 names that once you go back through Baseball Reference or whatever, that like you could probably make the replacement right away. So it's almost like I was flipping between a few, and then I'm like, all right, there were some that I'm like, okay, I can really leave off because I can probably use them again later, or just like, all right, I'm gonna put it here just because you don't have them at the same time.
Oh, and I just sent it. I said, you know what? We're sending it. I was pleasantly surprised as I was going through, like, how easy this lineup was, though. Like, I didn't have to do a ton of Googling to be like, oh, yeah, no, he was on the Padres at some point.
I guess it's one of those teams where it's like, so it's one of those things for me where it's almost like you can kind of throw names on a dartboard almost, and then your odds of hitting are pretty up there.
I mean, I will say, honestly, though, of the 13 names that we have on our list, I was actually surprised that 2 of them, straight up, like, I Googled and I was like, oh, right, he was there. And one of the names, Mike Piazza, I'll give away one of the names on my list for the Padres. I knew he was a Padre only because I have his card IRL, and I've had it since 2006. And so... But it always looks weird to me. So I'm like, no, that didn't actually exist. That's just, like, Topps made a funny. Also, by the way, that Mike Piazza card is 100% the thing that spurred this idea for us. I want you to know, on my end.
I'm with it.
Alright, but let's actually get into the meat and potatoes of the day. How was Commanders-Patriots joint practice, sir?
You know, I like football enough to justify going to Gillette Stadium to consume football in real life, you know? Right?
Yeah.
So, obviously, we have a connection in the Commanders, so it was more so to go see him do his thing at the NFL level, which any of our old coworkers could agree. If we all could be there, we would have. Well, we had a few there, but it was all... Everybody was... It was just kind of like that confirmation that football's back. And football is king around here, so... But there... You know what? I'm going to talk about it again later, but my take's more Patriots related than Steeler related, because I actually got to mentally cope with my team being the clusterfuck of a roster that it is.
That's fine.
But you know, the Commanders look good. Our contact is definitely doing his job, as a former Patriot once said.
I'm not gonna lie, seeing like the stuff on Instagram and Snapchat from you and obviously everyone else that wound up or down at Gillette for it. Anything I saw with said person, he looked, first of all, like he was loving life, which again I think is a big part about this industry, right? We go to work every day loving our job. I realize that he works directly with players, kind of in his role. But even on that level, like you and me being less connected to the players, or very much less connected to the players, just like knowing that I love my job when I go to work every day is the best, most motivating thing for me, and why I can say, after being in this industry for 7 years or so now, God, has it been that long? Yeah, it's actually 2018 will be, or 2028 will be 10. So yeah, so 7 years. Um, I'm loving it, and I don't regret like losing nights and weekends and time with my friends, family, and everything, and the sacrifices they have to make. I'm thankful for them making, because that's just like, again, part of this industry, and it's definitely the part of this industry that's not talked about as much because it's not the quote unquote sexy um, part of the industry.
I think like you hear about all the time is people want to do it because that's what everybody's doing, but it's like there's way more below the surface than what people realize, right? So it's like, you know, game nights. I think the working a game day, game night, whatever you want to call it, like if people have never done it,
Mm-hmm.
kind of that doing it for the first time. That it sucked, but it was a lot of fun once the game was going. But if you never knew what happened on the before tickets started getting scanned and people were coming in, like you just don't. I think you and I have that appreciation of that side of things way more now. You do it for 5, 6 months out of the year, approximately.
Yeah, yeah, and I think the other appreciation we have is like, obviously you're back in Boston, but when you were here, right? We'd go to a Reds game. We'd go to any or other like big public event where the tickets were being scanned. Even if I go to like,
Xavier.
yeah, Xavier. Even if I go to like the amusement park, like when I'm waiting in those security lines, and the amusement park has a policy now: if you are under 35, you have to have your license ready to go before you can come in. Great, whatever, no big deal. I see people complain almost every time we go, and it's like, bro, it's just about keeping everything above board and flowing as best as possible. And I think being in that kind of service industry, that's the thing that um, I'm able to handle it a little bit better, because I'm just like, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's kind of just that. As you were saying, I think a lot of people got to realize like I think just the hours you got to put in on a day to day in this side of things too. It's not even it's not even just like the game's only 3 hours of your day. Well, I remember when we were doing things, my day would start at like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and it would end when I get in my car and go home. So it'd be 11 o'clock, sometimes midnight, depending on what we were doing after.
Yeah, and
But
for me, on the sales side of things, my day, let's say we had a 7 p.m. kickoff, I would start my work day before I even got to work. Um, Probably by 10:30 in the morning, I was already like gassed up reading emails, and then I'd take a break to drive to work for noon. And then we'd obviously be in the office noon to like probably 3 ish. And then we'd get the trophy and any banners over to the arena, which was probably about a half-mile walk, honestly. Not too bad, but it did kind of suck wheeling that trophy through Worcester. Um,
and yeah, just having that big flashy item, we got eyes on.
well, I mean, we had it in the case, but it was The bigger problem was just like carrying it, because obviously the streets and sidewalks aren't perfectly smooth in a New England city, and just wheeling it through the park and then down to the arena was just a pain in the butt. It was worth it in the end. Like, once we got everything set up, banners set up, and everything, and like I could breathe for about 30 seconds before doors, and I could take a look at the picture of in front of the step and repeat, the trophy just like chilling there. I was like, all right, this is awesome. Ooh.
Yeah, and even for me, like I'd be running down from the catacombs of the locker rooms up to the top, most level. Well, like there was like during that couple hours, I'd just be during the game. If everything on my side is running smoothly, I could actually watch the game. But I know for a lot of other people, that's not that. They don't have that luxury. So.
No, I agree 100%. Sorry, I had to run a ban on a bot. A bot came into the chat, so I had to ban it.
Did you ever see that, what's going on in the IFL playoffs over the weekend?
I saw the Steamwheelers won a pretty close one.
That was in the Arizona game.
I did see that there was a protest. I haven't read into it yet, but I won't lie, I'm a little bit behind on
I got it right here.
On the reasoning, but I'm very interested to see how that plays out, because obviously a protest at the end of a game, especially a playoff game, is wild.
Well, the league put a statement out the other day. They put it out yesterday, I think. No, Tuesday. So the IFL's protest procedures do not provide so basically what happened was San Diego got the ball first, like I think it was 4th and goal at the 2-yard line. Then they got a playoff. You know what? Significantly, like it looked very late.
Mm-hmm.
So, and basically, they didn't. So I can find it. See if you can stream it really quick. Actually find it, but if not, I'm not gonna.
It's fine. We definitely should try to stay on top of the playoffs for the next week and through the championship, so we can kind of talk about how my prediction of the Green Bay Blizzard being the champions, I believe, is still possible. I don't think they lost this past weekend.
They actually, yeah. Let me pull it up for you. I got the for you. So it's gonna be Vegas and San Diego, and then Green Bay is that quad. So
Green Bay absolutely crushed Tulsa.
yeah.
No team had a bigger gap than that.
Honestly, like looking at the first round scores, that's kind of like when you look at the range, like that kind of defined week in and week out in the IFL too. If you really think about it.
It's kind of wild to me, like looking at it, that only the Eastern Conference was able to rack up 50 points.
So that's kind of the wild side of the league too, is that you don't know what kind of game you're going to get until you're actually there, until they actually play the game.
No, I agree 100%, and that's kind of the cool part about like these more obscure minor leagues. And I'm using obscure because like arena football as a sport is more obscure. I don't think the average sports fan or even average person looks at it and says, "Oh, dude, like I'm all about arena football." Like I am actively all about arena football. I know you are as well.
I don't follow it as much anymore now that I've been out of it for so long. Because also I don't want to go about the league's new platform, which I'm not really big on.
So I actually, this is where I think our takes differ. Now I do not pay for the IFL's platform. I should have. I I will be come the end of the season, like once my commission checks start getting better again and I have a little bit of money because it's only $30 for a year. And that's actually a super great value proposition, especially assuming that it has every game like it does. And if I can replay any game from X seasons ago, then it would be the perfect streaming platform.
I mean, they also have every game through last year, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Does that mean the Pirates fight game is on there? Or is that 2 years ago? I don't remember if we were potting yet when the fight in Arizona happened.
Oh, so yeah, so if you the monthly pass has archive IFL archives.
Yeah, no, but in general, I am actually very much on board with them having a streaming platform. I think if they're not going to go to something like Flow Sports that I know the hockey uses, the minor league hockey and some college hockey's on that. If they're not going to be on that, then having their own platform that's relatively affordable is fine. Now, I understand people are complaining, well, it came off the free YouTube. Yes, but in theory, by putting it on something like this, you're actually going to be able to bolster the quality of the products for the out-of-market viewer.
Yeah.
So, because there's now money that's going to be hopefully used to help make sure everyone's streams look more consistent, everything looks better from a standpoint, and it's just more uniform and just in general better. So for that reason, I actually am very okay with the platform, especially because it's as low cost as it is.
I mean, compared to what else is out there, yeah, for sure.
Because what is it? It was like $30 a year or something.
If you buy the year. So I'm only looking at the monthly pass and the. I want to fucking register.
So you can literally just buy it for the playoffs too, but
yeah.
Which is funny because it's the monthly pass just for the playoffs. But okay, $10 a month. Championship game not included. That kind of stinks that you can't watch the championship game specifically, but they used to have the yearly pass. That was like $30. But that might have just been at the beginning. Regardless, $10 a month for a streaming platform is nothing. Like, in the absolute grand scheme of things. Considering what people are paying for streaming platforms these days. So, that's my 2 cents on the matter.
Alright. Go from football to baseball, and then...
Oh, you know what? While we're still on football, give me your kind of hot take for the NFL this year. Or maybe too early prediction.
I don't think this is like an overly hot take by any stretch. Like, I think like a lot of people in the media and on Twitter especially are kind of like in the same frame of mind about the Patriots this year. I kind of think they're going to be really sneaky with kind of what they've done so far this offseason and then kind of like the team they've already had and how they've built around it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's still the Bills division. Like, don't get me wrong, it's very much still the Bills division. But the Patriots can probably sneak into that second place spot, but that could also translate to a wild card seed in some way, shape, or form. That wouldn't surprise me at all if we're talking about the Patriots around Christmas time, New Year's for the playoffs.
Fair. So mine is a hot take. And
How hot are we talking here?
oh, you could cook eggs on it.
Could you? Is it like you could just crack eggs on the hood of your Civic?
Uh,
Hot or
yeah. You can make
okay.
breakfast on it.
Not
So
that I'd recommend you doing that, but you could if you wanted
so
to.
it's actually a two-part hot take. Part one is the Cleveland Browns will win the AFC North.
That's just not fair.
Presumably,
I'm sorry.
assuming that Flacco is the starting quarterback all year. Part two of that is the AFC North will be the tightest division, top to bottom, this year. So the worst team, the Ravens, will be the closest to the best team, the Browns, of any division in the league. And for the record, there's actually like a backing to this. It's not just me putting on my, well, I'm a Browns fan, like, glasses. How I look at it is the Browns kind of run in cycles where they're really bad for like 2 straight years. Always. Just there's going to be 2 really bad years together. They just got off those 2 bad years. That third year, they're really good out of nowhere, and they give us Brown fans false hope. And that this year is going to be the false hope year. That's just what's going to happen. So my actual hot take is the Browns are going to give me false hope again, and probably not even win a playoff game. But they should make the playoffs. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say they win the AFC North because they just want to make it as painful as possible for everyone.
I mean, I just think that division's gonna get settled in the last 2 weeks anyway, like it normally does. Any week ahead of 16, 17 is just too early for those.
I also thoroughly believe that the Steelers will be 9-8. Like the worst team in the division,
no.
I think is going to have a winning record.
Look,
Well,
my expectation is a winning season, at most the first round playoff exit. So it's just like that's the Steelers are gonna stay on brand regardless of who's at quarterback this year. So it doesn't even matter.
no, but I think the Browns could be. I think again, it's kind of a sneaky good situation. It's a different type of sneaky good, of course. But I think it's a sneaky good situation.
I think about it this way, right? When you get the rate, if you look at the division as a whole now, right? I think realistically here, the Ravens will be the Ravens, so they're not going nowhere.
So this is where I'm going to disagree with you. The Ravens are also one of those teams. They're also cyclical, but in the exact opposite direction of the Browns. Where the Ravens will put together like 4, 5, 6 amazing years together, and then they just shit out one year, and they haven't shit out for a while. So I think this could be the year.
I mean, everybody's kind of like hyping the Bengals up for probably no good reason because they're going to start slower than they normally do.
Oh, I also agree with that, but I think they'll probably be third in the division. They'll be second or third, and then the Steelers will also be second or third.
I think everybody's going to kind of be like it kind of has this weird coast to it where like they all kind of stay in the same boat, and then maybe like week 10, week 11, they kind of start branching.
Yeah, I was going to say, and it also will depend on if the wheels fall off the wagon early, right? Like, if one team goes out to an 0-3 start, it doesn't matter what team in the division. If any team gets out to an 0-3 start in that division, you probably are out of the playoffs automatically. Just the way the AFC North is.
Yeah, it doesn't have like most of the other divisions, too, if you really think about it, you can kind of figure out who's going to take it right about now. The AFC East is going to be the Bills division, barring something. AFC West is probably going to be the Chiefs unless the Chargers get sneaky hot again. Right? So it's kind of one of those scenarios. If this, but that.
NFC West is the 49ers division right now.
Yeah. It's the 2 South divisions that are just kind of those coin flips until I think it's going to be Tampa's, but Tampa barely won that division as far as I remember. So.
And, I mean, the NFC North is also one of those weird divisions where it's like, anyone could win it, but it's kind of the opposite of the AFC North, in my opinion. Where, like, you look at the AFC North and you're like, anyone could win it, and it's going to be tight. The NFC North, I look at it and I'm like, anyone could win it, and it's probably not going to be tight. Like, it's probably not going to be the Bears. But the Vikings, if they start hot, they're just going to take the division early, right?
So I think both North, it's kind of like both North divisions kind of clones of each other, where it's like, yeah, well, like they don't settle until very late. The South divisions are clones of each other because they seem to flip flop who's winning it most years. And then kind of the East stay the same, and then the West kind of all the divisions kind of are clones of each other. It's really weird some years.
No, I mean, that's reasonable. But
I think we'll then obviously we'll probably rip
we'll actually do some like actual research and back up
on our own teams. We'll research
on our teams and our divisions. Well, I mean, both our teams are in the AFC North, but we'll do some research and get it going.
Yeah, right. It's not like the last football thing for the night is kind of going back to what I was saying about the Pats. Is I saw something on Twitter saying where Drake May said the offense looks like kind of clones to when Brady was running in the offense. So, those are two different quarterbacks, and that's also two different conversations.
Yes.
The way Brady was running that offense was one way. But Drake May does things that Tom Brady wasn't excelling at, and that wasn't within his play style. Because Tom Brady was one of the last pocket passers, if not the last true pocket passer.
I agree, and I think that side of the game is gone. Like, you're not going to have just straight pocket passers anymore. I think that's the game's evolved beyond that, for better or worse.
Coordinating our fantasy draft right now.
That's fine. Play in. That's fine. Do you want to give me your all-time Arizona Diamondbacks obscure players lineup? Again, this is guys that played at least one game for the Diamondbacks, but aren't just like random dudes. They're kind of like if you were making an all-star team of guys that played on that team. All-star team being like of their career, not their time on the team, because like I'm pretty sure some of these guys did not have a great time on that team, but you could say, oh shit, I didn't realize he played on that team. He's a name I know, though. I like to preface that every time so that people understand where we're going with this, and it's not like we're just making the worst lineup possible because the guy had a really bad tenure on that team.
You think, like, with a lot of these, too, is, like, I think you see this in baseball a ton where, I'm going to preface this with my starting pitchers, that my starting pitcher spent 2 years in Arizona and got shipped off, and now he's a bona fide Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I mean, Max Scherzer. Quick little moment with the Arizona Diamondbacks before he went to the Tigers and became the ace that everybody knows him as. And behind the plate was Chris Iannetta. I know him as a Rocky, ironically, but I don't know anywhere else that he's played.
Well, apparently the Diamondbacks.
Apparently. First base, we got Shea Hillenbrand, a notable favorite on this series up to this point. At second base, we got noted Toronto Blue Jay, Orlando Hudson. Third base, a one-year wonder, Mr. Troy Glaus.
I'm going to cut you off for 1 second. I want you to know Troy Glaus in my head is actually a Diamondback because his 1 year was one of the MVP baseball years.
like it.
So I want you to know, like, in my head, I know that he played plenty of other places. But he is a Diamondback. Same with one of the other guys on your list.
He's an Angel to me, though. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's where
fair. I'll give you Troy Gloss on the Angels.
My shortstop's going to be Gene Segura. Just kind of bounced around in the back end, but I just remember him as a Diamondback. And my left fielder is J.D. Martinez. In center, Starling Marte. In right field, Sean Green.
Noted Toronto Blue Jay. Can we talk about how many of these guys were Blue Jays and Dodgers? Because it's a ton of them. Sorry.
And then, as I said, Tony Clark at DH. My bullpen is Bobby Witt Sr.
I did not know he was a pitcher.
I didn't figure it out until did some research, and then I think when Junior got drafted, they brought it up in a lot of the ESPN.
Fair.
On it. And then I got Vicente Badia, and rounded out Dontrell Willis.
That's a solid lineup. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure I could have used Dontrell Willis for mine too. And like I said, Alex, at the forefront, I think I cooked the best lineup I've had ever in this series.
No, I agree.
And it is the San Diego Padres all-time team. Starting on the mound is you might have heard of him, a guy named Greg Maddux. He was pretty good at baseball. At catcher, I have former Boston Red Sox, Doug Mirabelli. At first base, I have Willie McCovey. At second, I have Roberto Alomar. At third, I have Mark Bellhorn. And yes, I'm well aware Bellhorn only played second for the Padres, but he was a third baseman at some point in his career, so it fits in this slot. At shortstop, I have another guy who I think change of scenery was the biggest thing for him, Ozzie Smith. Obviously, we know him as the Cardinal, but he started his career with the Padres. My outfield, I have Ricky Henderson in left, Jim Edmonds in center. In right field, I have Cliff Floyd. At the DH, I have Mike Piazza. Again, as I mentioned about 40 minutes ago now, his Topps card from 2006 with him on the Padres is what reminded me that he wasn't just a Met and Dodger. And that was kind of what led me to pitching this idea to you. So, that card and that premise led to something that I've had a lot of fun with so far. Wow. And then in my bullpen, I have Gaylord Perry, Raleigh Fingers, and Houston Street. I could have put Goose Gossage, but I know he was a Padre too much to put him there. Honestly, Goose Gossage is one of the players I can't use because I know he was a Pirate, I know he was a Yankee, I know he was a Padre. I can only use him for the White Sox because that's one that's oh, that's weird. But I hope I gave you enough window for the record.
Yeah.
We have the same podcast today.
No, I think the timing, the spacing was good.
And next week, I believe I'm on first pick.
Probably not.
Dude, I'm taking the Reds. You got the Guardians.
Called dibs, huh?
Yeah.
I thought next week you were doing something.
For the next time.
Alright.
Will be
We'll
Reds and Guards.
Again, obviously.
Obviously, you can use Cleveland. I'll let you use the Cleveland Spiders too.
You're going to assume I'm going to go that far back.
I'm just saying you can use the Guardians, Indians, Guardians, and I'll let you use Spiders too, even though I don't know if they're the same franchise. I think they are, though. So.
I'm on the rep. So I got the Cleveland Naps and the Cleveland Napoleons. Which are the same thing.
Yes. You can use those as well. But I believe I thought the Cleveland Spiders were on there as well as an option. Alrighty, Alex. Let's move on to our final point of business for the evening. Can you give me the 8 teams in the SWAC for women's bowling in 2025? Again, the rules are it's 3 strikes and you're out until you get half the conference rounded up. Then you get a 4th strike, should it be needed.
Okay, so...
Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can...
My knowledge of... Are you pulling up a map or something like that?
No, I have it.
Or are you trying to find it?
No, I have it. I just wanted to put it in the doc so I can highlight the ones that you get right.
Alright.
Crap. Give me 2
When
seconds.
you're ready, I'll start firing.
I think you'll get this one really quick. I just have to delete out a ton of stats.
So it was...
The
What
SWAC.
is it again?
Women's bowling. Sorry, I should have done this earlier. I thought that... I realized I didn't have a way to track your correct responses. But... I think it's funny that there's 8 teams in it.
Was this last year?
This will be this past year, yes. Alright, I am ready for you, sir.
So the first couple SWAC schools that come off the rip are going to be Grambling,
Yep.
Freaking delayed.
Jackson State,
Grambling is correct. Jackson is correct.
Challenges and mini games.
Alcorn.
Incorrect. Alcorn State does not participate in bowling. Women's bowling. In the SWAC. I don't know if they participate in women's bowling or not.
Florida A&M.
Florida A&M is correct. Hold on.
I got stuck at work until almost 4 o'clock.
I'm highlighting how many X's you have. And I'm writing down the school you have wrong. Okay, continue, sorry.
3 of 8, right?
Yeah, you have 3 of 8. You have Jackson State, Grambling State, and Florida A&M. And your incorrect guess was Alcorn State.
Those are the ones I know off the rip.
Now you just have to guess random mid-major schools the rest of the way.
What about Bethune-Cookman?
Nope. I'm just putting BCU because I'm never going to be able to spell Bethune-Cookman.
The only other one that comes to mind to me is Mississippi Valley State, but
Do you want to guess that?
man, I'm either striking out or we're gonna keep going. So yeah,
MISSI PPI. SSI PPI. Is incorrect. I think you dug yourself into the mid-major hole too much.
I was trying to regionalize it. I think.
You regionalized, but you went the wrong way. So, I have it in standing order. The champion was Alabama State University. Then you have Southern University. Then it was Jackson State, which you had. Alabama A&M University. Prairie View A&M University. Texas Southern University. Then Grambling, Florida A&M.
That probably wasn't to come together.
I literally took it from the tournament standings. So I guess the tournament was only the top 8. I just thought of that. So actually,
Hold it up. Yeah.
I got just the tournament. I didn't. When I hit standings, I assumed it would give me all of the standings. Like,
Are we looking at like a PDF?
oh,
Whatever?
yeah, I was looking at a PDF of just the tournament. You you very much had 100%. You didn't get anything wrong because Bethune-Cookman isn't that. Alcorn State is in it. Mississippi Valley State is in it. Yeah, you got 100%. I'll give it to you. I didn't realize that I had to go to the Commissioner's Cup page. I had to go to a completely different page. Like, when I want your standings for your conference, give me the full standings, not just your tournament standings.
I will just be there, you know?
So,
So my coworker was
I will
like,
give you...
I'm not calling off, but my Uber was in a car accident, so we are waiting on the police to show up. The dude never called back and never showed up today.
I'm just going to call it null.
Motherfucker.
I'll get another obscure conference for you. Actually, you still have the next one.
Okay.
We'll nullify that one
I'll
out.
look at it here in a minute.
Because you didn't have any wrong answers.
Let me cook here. So you might stick in the FCS.
I'm down with any conference. And right now we're doing D1 conferences, but that doesn't mean we'll only do D1 conferences. I might stick you with a D2 conference here soon. Because I think it'll be funny. Don't worry, it'll be a D2 conference that neither of us participated in. Like our schools. My school was D3. I don't know what your school was.
D3.
Perfect. So D2 will be very much on the table. I'm not going to lie to you. Your next one's a D2 conference. I already have it cooked up in my head.
Alright, we're going to do... Let's do...
Can you guys hear me? Okay. Let's go. That's pissing me
Let's
off.
do Patriot League men's soccer.
Why is it not typing? I will. I think I'll do okay on that, but I have a couple weeks because it'll be 2 weeks till we pod again. Because I am busy next week, so we will be back on the 21st.
No,
That being
that'll
said,
be-
we will definitely have some stuff on our Twitters.
Actually, that's not correct.
Oh,
I'm gonna
right.
back you up there.
Sorry. I'll be available on the 21st. You will not. So we are actually
I'll
back.
be- 28th or
The
maybe
28th.
small chance any other day, but 28th is probably locked in.
So it's looking like there will be no content from either of us next week. The following week, I will put some content out in the form of a stream of some sort, and then the 28th we'll be back to potting. We're gonna work on kind of having it so that we hit a method, so like what week of the month it is, we'll kind of be able to dictate what you're expecting to see here.
Then I think I'm gonna walk back during the gap. We'll probably get more YouTube stuff out and some shorts, so that'll probably be what the next 2 weeks look like. So we got stuff in the works. Just gotta get it out.
Yeah. We'll definitely be hitting the YouTubes hard here in the next month or so, I think. As soon as we can get some content generated. I'm hoping for when we're done with all of the teams and the divisions, we can probably build all those teams on MLB The Show, right? Assuming all the players exist.
Yeah.
And find relative stats for players if they don't exist. Sim a season and see which team is the best. I kind of like this idea. And then we can crown our obscure sports teams champion. So, there'll be some work that needs to be done. But I think it'll be worth it. Any last thoughts, Alex?
On that. I'll get in the lab trying to get all this stuff out. I'll at least have the episode out maybe for tomorrow or Saturday, and then kind of everything else to kind of follow through before I go on a quick trip.
Of course.
Worst case, everything will be scheduled at the very least, so we can pump it out however we want at that point.
Alrighty. On that note, Alex, have a fantastic evening, and I will be back live on Tuesday night, I believe.
Alright.
Or not. I don't know. I'll be back sometime next.
You're not streaming at all.
You'll be
on
I
Tuesday.
am not streaming next week at all, so it'll be a week from Tuesday. I'll be back. I know my schedule. I promise.
He's not allowed to stream.
Alrighty. Have a good one, Alex.
That's why there's no mic.
You too.
Bye.